All right, welcome back after a very, very long hiatus to the Stuff We Like, Stuff We Hate podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Law,
Big Mo B.
The Archangel David.
Hey, it's your boy Madman.
and we know that a lot has happened in the world since we last were here. But we're going to limit it today to two likes and two hates. So, who wants to go first with the two likes?
Well,
Uh,
hey, I put mine up.
Well, whoever
we
has
got
theirs
time.
ready,
You usually
I'm
have
let's
a
ready.
go
lot to
ahead.
say.
I'm
You
ready.
usually have a lot to say, so I'll go ahead and go. My first two likes right now. This first one is a general statement because I know some others are gonna touch on it as well. The first thing I like is that all the alien and predator love that's going on right now. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You mean the
We
love
get
or the actual
it.
products?
Both. Both. The fact that we've had two Alien movies coming this year. One is a cartoon, of course, but it was great, well done. I'm talking about Killers of Killers, and it pushed the lore specifically a lot. I'm here for that. In Aliens, we have some new Alien content as well. We had a new movie, Romulus, Alien Romulus, which I did like. Um, we also have a TV show that's going right now. As far as the things that kind of piss me off,
Just
I would
likes
let
first.
just
Just
like
likes.
that's right,
Let's
that's
talk
right.
about likes first.
And then that's where I'm at with that first one. The second one is it's a Marvel product. Surprise! I actually like Fantastic Four. As far as you know, the villains they messed up a bit. I mean, Silver Surfer got me into comics, and switch up for Charlotte Ball is one thing, but as a Silver Surfer, she was good at it. And Galactus, you know, it's Galactus. They had to nerf him. Let's not even forget that who this dude is and what he does. But as far as the Fantastic Four, I think they nailed it.
Finally.
There are some quirks and some misses in it, but nothing's gonna be perfect. I'm here for it. I like the Fantastic Four. This is the best Fantastic Four that's gone to movies as far as I'm concerned. So that's where I'm at with it. I didn't even expect to like anything Marvel put out this year. Between those two and some others, we're gonna go for it. So those are my likes right now.
Ooh. All right. So Predator, Alien, and Fantastic Four. All right. Who wants to go next?
All right, I'll go next because he touched on my like since Alien Earth was on my list of likes this time around. I'm loving that TV show, man. Like, all honesty, Aliens just been doing this thing, and Predator's been doing this thing too. I love Killer of Killers. I think that's like the second best movie that they've made in the franchise. So that made me real happy. But Alien Earth got me. You want to talk about pushing lore? We finally get to see Earth and what's actually happened to Earth, in a visual format, not just reading about it or something like that. And it's got weirdness going on, but I'm here for it. My second like is actually Silk Song. The Hollow Knight Part 2 finally dropped, man, and that thing just blew up the video game world. You know, 8 years waiting for that game, and it came out and it's beautiful and it's difficult like it's supposed to be because it's paying homage to old school Metroidvanias. And they dropped that Joker for $20, which is unheard of. So everybody and their grandma can get it, and it's on every platform. And it actually came out and it's running, which is sad, but you have to say that now in the video game world that a
Yeah.
game actually works when it comes out.
Works as advertised.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. AAA games suck behind, man. It's almost like you can't buy anything the first week, that it comes out because you got to wait for the patches and the people complain about it and the company to actually finish the game because they're
Mhm.
selling you out here instead of finished products. and to get one and get a reasonable price tag, I'm here for it.
Okay. All right. What you got?
So let's see. I'm gonna start with Eyes of Wakanda, right? Eyes of Wakanda over on Disney. There's been a lot of ups and downs with Marvel properties and how they deliver. And I thought Eyes of Wakanda did a pretty good job of making everything cohesive and world building, giving you some back lore with the history of war dogs and just the little time jumps, seeing different decisions get made and outcomes over a very, very, lengthy period of time, even going into the future. So with that, definitely War Dogs, right? The design, the animation that it went into it, a lot of really cool costuming opportunities out of that one for the cosplay community. So I was really happy with that it wasn't necessarily focused directly just on the Black Panther when we all know Wakanda has so much more going on with it. And to touch on those things and give it a cultural touchstone and why certain things have been done the way they're done and the importance. Thought they told a really, really good story. There were different pieces in it that I did just I really dug that. The lion, his costuming and him being who he was fantastic. Learning how the war dogs spin kind of out of the Dora Milaje, the way they work. And also, what's the other thing? Oh, Iron Fist, right? Getting a actual Chinese female Iron Fist was actually wonderful, and the way it was executed. And of course, more costuming opportunities out there for some people. So that one, thumbs up. I actually did a panel on that. Me and several other people at Dragon Con this year. Great turnout. Lots of love going on there. And I hope they continue. I think the only downside with that, it probably should have had more episodes, right? It needed more episodes. And I will say this, it's been pulled off far better than What If at this point with in certain spaces. My second, obviously, is going to lead into like they're kind of interconnected, which is Sinners, right? I actually bought into the hype and went and saw Sinners by myself and thoroughly enjoyed it. Right? All the little aspects of it. Michael B. Jordan pulling off both brothers. All of the cultural things that go into a time period from Ruth Carter's, clothing designs in that to the little pieces of culture of Mississippi culture coming from a place of voodoo or magic. The Unmi Masaku's character. So all of those little things that get woven into it, the interpersonal relationships from back then, like with the Asian community, working with the Black community in certain ways, when we know historically the case behind that is, yeah, we'll sell to you because no one else will. Well, we will because we need the money, right? So all of those little relationships where I grew up with some people here in the South that they are Chinese. Every last one of them have that Southern drawl, right? So it's very funny to see certain things just get fleshed out on screen in real time. And the horror aspect of it, right? There were several different things that were horror in that. And it wasn't just the vampires that we know about.
Right.
Right? I love that they used the Choctaw. I really want to spin off to see what happened before that with the Choctaw handling that situation because they were ready to go. And of course, there were some things that came out of that, and the overlap, of course, with World of Wakanda is the importance of Michael B. Jordan in the cinematic universe with him being Killmonger. and rolling right into Sinners playing both brothers. Hats off to Ryan Coogler and everyone in that job. And the brief little nuggets of costuming trivia where the vampire stuff and lots of other things came from the Blade set uh, for the scrapped Blade Marvel run. So
Mhm.
that was very, very interesting to find out. Um, so now we know what's going to happen with Blade. But those are my likes that probably bleed over into Lee's like, right? I held off that like because I know you put it as your like. And it was a pretty big thing for me at Dragon Con. So I will let you run into your likes.
Oh, well, my two likes, I've been since we've been away, we've been a while, like I've been digging the absolute DC comics. Those have been some of my favorite things to read. Like a lot of the stuff that Marvel's doing right now to me is trash, but I have totally enjoyed the DC Absolute Universe. And for those of you who don't know, it's basically a version of Darkseid comes and attacks the main universe. He gets repelled and he said, all right, I'm gonna make my own universe where the heroes have it rough. And it started with Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, but has since spun out into there's Absolute Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter, and Green Arrow is coming. But it's just been a really refreshing take on a lot of the DC heroes. Like, for instance, Batman in his situation, his dad died. His mom is alive. He's not rich. He's working class. He's like pretty much like 6 foot like 8 tall. Like he's just like a huge like physical specimen. Actually quit the NFL type of specimen. And his normal rogues are his childhood friends. So you've got, the Riddler, you've got the Penguin, you've got Killer Croc, and they're all like his boys, Oh, and Harvey Dent, of course. I mean, who always kind of was, or at least started as his friend. So that one's been cool. The Superman one has been cool, who actually grew up on Krypton with his parents. So by the time he gets to Earth, he's not really raised by the Kents. He actually did get raised by his parents. So that's been cool. But my favorite out of all of them so far has been the Absolute Wonder Woman. Like that's been like really cool, where she grows up in hell um with the DC sorceress. I can't think of her name, but she grows up with her basically. And so she's a spellcaster in addition to being like this warrior. And so it's been really cool and refreshing to actually read. So I would strongly encourage y'all, if y'all haven't already, to like take a look at those. And they're supposed to finally be doing a crossover with them. And they've done some interesting things where like Ra's al Ghul is actually a Superman kind of villain. It's really interesting the way that they've taken certain things. So that's been cool. My second one is Hell Divers. I have just been loving and digging Hell Divers, like for real. I'm anybody who knows me knows I'm a big Starship Trooper fan. I read the book, but also the films and all the other media. And this totally does Starship Troopers better than Starship Troopers in many ways. Just the irony, the fascism of managed democracy and all that stuff. And like, I mean, there's been some issues with like some of the mechanics of the game, but then again, it's running on like an old Autodesk technology that's not been updated for like almost like 4 or 5 years or something like that. But I've loved it. The gameplay, the guns, the gore, like all of it has just been, satisfying for me to play. So those are my two likes. Yeah, yeah, that's really it. Batman, I don't know which one did you think I was gonna say?
So in the group chat, you had listed Dragon Con.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
come back. Well,
Okay,
that
yeah.
was kind of like that's gonna be one of my hates, actually.
it's
That
rolled over
that
to the big side.
that aspect of it.
Okay.
So yeah, but so we can get to it with that. Uh did everybody go and do a like? Everybody did
Yeah,
their likes?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I started.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna go ahead and start the hates. Yeah, I was really looking forward to the scary movie genre this year, and it did not. It did not do anything for me. 28 years later came out, and it should have been 28 years before we actually saw it. It was just not it was not a good movie. It just wasn't. Um my second hate was the disappointment in Star Trek actually.
What?
Yeah, Section 31 wasn't a good movie.
Oh yeah, that was trash.
That just and I was looking forward to it. Oh my God, I got let down. I
Yeah,
mean, the
yeah.
major ship is a trash hauler. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, and it's in the video games now. I'm kind of done with that one. I did
Yeah,
not see
yeah.
it
They
coming.
didn't let George Al be George Al either.
No, no, they
Mm-hmm.
did not. They did not. I don't know what they decided to do. Why they went that way? Why does everyone? You either in you're, you're either in Starfleet, you're one of the bad guys, or the only job they have out there is a club owner. You own some kind of club, nightclub, and that's about it. From gaming all the way down to the emperor of the mirror universe, and she's now a nightclub owner. I'm done with it. I'm
It's
done with
almost a trope, huh?
it. So that those are my hates. I can't get deep like Dunbar in it.
Hey,
But
I've gotten better over the years. Thank you very much.
Well, we'll see about that.
Where? When?
you up,
When?
you up. We'll
When?
see. Let's go.
I mean, I have gotten better over the years. Come on now.
Okay, so what's your hate?
All right. Well, first off, I was very disappointed in superhero movies, this summer. I had high hopes because I really wanted them both to make a big splash and come back and make that money and show that, the hype was real. Superhero movies could be $1 billion franchise again. And yeah, they both let me down in regards that neither one of them broke ground as far as money making was concerned, but also, good Lord, James Gunn and what he did to Superman. Now, there's good parts in that movie. There are some things that I really, really like about that movie. Like Mr. Terrific is that dude in that movie, but that's also part of the problem. Instead of letting Superman be the hero of his movie, he was a trash can. They just kept dumping trash on this dude from the beginning of the movie, man, to the end. It was like, what am I watching here? The only thing that he got right about Superman, as far as I'm concerned, was I like the look. That little splash of New 52 that they put on this costume worked for me because I love New 52
Hmm.
Superman's design. And he was saving people, which I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was great. But outside of that, my God, man, the dude can't do nothing right in this movie. It starts off with him catching an L off screen, and then
All
catch
screen.
another L within 5 minutes,
You
and then right
start the
after
movie.
that he can't do right at work,
You
and then he
start the
can't
movie
have a good
halfway in the
relationship.
fight. Halfway. It makes absolutely no sense. Start a movie
Yeah,
halfway in a fight when I'm here to see the fight. I'm here to
yeah.
see them be Superman. But go ahead.
I'm just like, God, they dumbed him down so much, and my man didn't get to actually really do anything except finally beat the two people that's been whooping his behind the whole movie. And I don't understand if my dude knows the difference between Ultraman and Bizarro, but he should have picked one. You know, it's like, what are you doing, bro?
I flat out had issues with both of them as villains for that reason.
Yeah,
Angela Spica, the engineer, right?
yeah, not a bad guy.
I'm a huge Wildstorm fan, and The Authority was my
Yeah,
book, right? And I remember when Warren introduced the engineer. That is not her role. That ain't how she functions. That
no,
isn't her mindset
no,
or her demeanor.
no.
Angela is not like that.
Yeah,
Her
why would
powers, they messed that up. And the Ultra Human, that one also was a drop for me,
yes, yeah,
right? And
help.
you're right. Pick one. Pick one.
Pick one. Pick one. So now is it, you're gonna bring the authority in and you're just gonna be villains or something? I don't know. So James Gunn let me down big time with that, man. Cause I wanted a Superman movie and I got an everybody else movie except Superman.
That
Everybody
Superman and Lois did a better job with the
They did.
Bizarro style than
They
any of
did.
them.
Yeah, I mean seriously. What Superman didn't beat the dragon, Mr. Terrific did. Mr. Terrific basically saved Superman and metamorphosed them to come together and save this dude. Mr. Terrific whooping the armies behind outside. Mr. Terrific actually shut down the crap and fixed the city. You know, what did Clark do? Even Lex was taken out by Crypto. You know, the,
I
the
kind of
evil
appreciated.
taken out.
I'm gonna say this. I kind of appreciated Lex using Tekken moves on Superman throughout
Oh, that was hilarious.
the whole movie.
That was hilarious. But you even Superman had to be saved by Crypto. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna tell me this is Superman with his
Yeah,
speed
but well,
of thought and his speed of
that made sense because he did not know what he was dealing with.
yeah, but that's the problem. Superman is not some short-sighted idiot. You know what I mean?
No, but
Right.
you're fighting yourself. That
But
dude was whooping his butt.
Here's the thing for me. I mean, and y'all can disagree with me. And my take on it was through that whole movie, for a variety of different reasons, Superman was holding back because you saw
Yes.
when he actually cut loose, he did his thing.
Well, and
Like
I like the
he was
conversation he had with Lois.
yes, yes,
right. He was trying to be like gentle, like when they're doing stuff and they're killing the kaiju, when he saves the squirrel, like all this
yeah.
stuff, he's trying to be like good and not destroy things, like with collateral damage and all that other stuff. I
That's the
mean, because I
part.
think that we all know that if he wants to cut loose, he can totally cut loose, but
Oh,
he
we've seen
doesn't.
that. And we've seen that.
That's the whole thing with Superman.
He I said he got that part right. In the beginning of my statement, I was like, he did a couple of things right and saving people and doing that was one of them. But everything else they let the man do wrong. I'm like, at least let him get the W in his own freaking movie. Let him solve the problems. All of the
I
problems
just
in that
I
movie,
don't.
we've seen comic book Superman have answers to those. So he could have had answers to all of that stuff. I think they spent more time trying to use this as a window to their universe than a Superman movie.
I don't know, man. I think James was going for, and the thing that I think he nailed and did well is the kind of restoration, Superman as this very human
Mhm, mhm.
person. Right
Yeah,
now, I'm with you. The things I don't like about that movie, I truly don't like. Right, and it's how Angela was used, developed, and portrayed on screen.
yeah.
His parents being yokels. And
Oh,
here's the deal: when I read what they did, they said, "Oh, well, we did some samples of that the accent for that area." And I'm like, "No, you did. There's
no,
no
you
way
did.
you did. No, there's no way you did because you pulled out a horrible accent that
Mm,
was very, very much not like Kent." I'm
That's
like, "No,
that's not. I'm from the Midwest, and that's not how people from the Midwest
exactly.
talk.
They don't sound like that out there." And
no,
they went
no.
they went further south than they needed to with that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. But you
but
want
the
to talk
other
about parents? Look at what he did to his actual parents. My God, that thing was horrible. Like,
look,
come on,
look,
man. That to
and y'all look.
his actual parents drill him as evil, man. Good.
Well, no, dude, there's seeds in there. I'm gonna push back on that.
Yeah,
There's seeds
right.
in there where they have said certain things, and it's like James Gunn just pushed it like even further. But there's things in there where Man of Steel, where he says, Jor-El, he's sending him this. I'm talking about the John Byrne comic where he says to him or says to his wife, he can go over there and he can be a literal god and rule over them. He says that. So I'm just saying, and there was a thing in Smallville where that happened. So that's been seeded for years,
Well,
actually.
that and very much in
But
different
there's a
places
fine
with the
line to that.
Kryptonians altogether. It's not like they were that great on
No,
their own planet.
but the whole point about him was
Exactly.
he's different. He's not Zod.
Yes.
He's not fake
Well,
right now.
well, but he's not. He
So,
wasn't in the movie. So what are
but,
you complaining
that's
about?
what I'm
He
saying.
chose not to
He shouldn't
be.
have portrayed his parents that way. We didn't need
He
that.
can portray his parents that way because, like I said, it's been seeded. He just pushed it over.
And
But
they're
I think
dead.
that
I don't
makes
know.
him even more of a hero because he rejects that and
I
chooses
still
to be
feel
who
like
he is.
they went Brightburn with the parents. It
Yes,
feels like they went Brightburn.
Okay.
He was
Mm,
go there, get a harem. I've never heard them say go get a harem.
yeah, dude, they went over the top with that crap. But that's James Gunn, I guess. You
Well,
know,
but
we watched Green Lantern and them fix the war thing over there. I'm just sitting here like, okay, this is Superman. Can Superman be the dude to actually handle some freaking business? Then my man is going with Woman of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and I'm not a fan of that book, so I didn't like her portrayal. Having my girl come in a drunken mess, cussing dude out. I,
I
she's
kind of like
young.
that part. I kind of like
She's
that
young.
part.
She went to the
I
yeah.
thought that
She
was
at
funny,
first I was
It
actually.
was
annoyed,
funny
and
to
then
me
I
too.
realized what happened. It was like, no, there's one place in the universe where I can go and be a young adult and get drunk, and
I
that's
can
what
go
she
and get cut
did.
loose, and I can feel
Right.
something.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't even be mad about that.
See, my thing, that's not what I wanted to see, man. You know,
Okay.
but
Well, and that's your opinion. I get it.
Hey,
I
all the
get
are
it.
bitch.
we even going to talk about Mr. Terrific?
He's the
And
best part of that movie.
no, hold on. Let me turn the dial a little bit. Right. While he is one of the best parts of the movie, he's also one of the worst parts of the movie.
At the
Okay?
same
You must be talking
time.
about his dialogue.
I do not in any way, shape, or form really like the dialogue that
Figured
they
he was gonna talk
gave
about the
Mr.
dialogue.
Terrific, right? I
That
don't.
that
It
end
almost
dialogue was
feels,
kind of crazy.
bro, it almost feels stereotypical. And the other thing is Mr. Terrific's fight scene. Really? That's the music you choose for a black dude? Right? You got a black man that can whoop everybody ass and is a genius. You really think that's his theme music while he's fighting a whole bunch of people? You couldn't have added anything culturally else to that man, but you managed to give him some of the almost caricature black style dialogue. I would have rather had Robert Downey Jr. deliver those lines in his Tropic Thunder face.
Dude, when he spoke,
Because that's what I felt like in certain parts.
he's
I
coming.
felt like
I get
Robert
that.
Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
I'm freaking Mr. Terrific.
Right. I put up a meme that said these are the same dude, and it was Mr. Terrific and Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder. I'm the dude, play the dude, dressed as another dude. I think the lines were, and shout out to that actor, right? I still think he should be Mr. Terrific. I do think they should elaborate on his character. People love that. We have to fix how they write his dialogue. It's like nobody black was in the room and went, the fuck you do?
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when James gets certain nuanced things about characters right. But when he's off, he is off. You see it with the parents, you see it with Mr. Terrific's delivery, right? Like there are things he gets off, they are off, and I don't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Second
So you
dislike.
didn't like Dan and Roseanne. Gotcha.
Lost soul aside, my God, man, you wait a long time for video games to come out, bro, and this has been a long, long time, bro. I think like 10 years we've been waiting on this game to drop. And it started off as this project where one dude was making on his own as an indie developer, and it looked cool as hell. So we got glimpses of that, and it was like, oh man, we waiting on this indie project. But then Sony got a glimpse of it, so they decided to buy the project. And it was like, oh shoot, they finna put some money behind this thing. This is going to be awesome. 10 years later, turd, just turd, bruh. I felt like I was in South Park, man, looking at the toilet, and it was talking. Man, like,
what's the game?
Lost soul aside, I mean, the game is one of those beautiful Unreal 5 things that don't work. You know, what all Unreal they know how to do is make Unreal 5 games pretty because they use a whole
Hmm.
lot of just canned goods and splash them together. But it fights nothing like the game that the dude did. All the cool ass combos and pretty fights and stuff the dude created. They dumbed it down to some generic mess. And God, the game just functions like complete ass. Now, you put Sony money beside this, dude, it's supposed to be some of the best stuff you can play. They have no excuse. You took that single man unit who was making something beautiful, you put a whole team in there, and now it's a mess. I don't understand how you do that. Then you charge full price for this Joker because games cost $70 now. I'm
Hmm.
sick of buying games and feeling like I'm buying a beta for something that I'm going to have to wait a year for you to fix and make function properly and actually have some decent gameplay. So, yeah, bruh, I had long since stopped pre-ordering stuff because I didn't like what was going on in video games. And now this is making me be like, okay, you know what? Just don't touch nothing for like half a year and let it marinate and then come back and see what the crowd is saying about it for all the people who, wasted their time and money before me. Because I mean, it shouldn't be like this. I don't build no garbage rigs. I keep top of the line PC running in the house. So I should not be experiencing foolishness, crashes, horrible frame rates, just flickering, after image BS going on. Stop it. I need them to make good games again. I need them to look at Silk Song and learn from that and put out quality stuff for our money.
Okay.
Got it. Got it. All right. All right. Big Moby, what about your dislikes?
I already gave them. Remember.
You
What
said
I say,
what?
28 years later and
Oh,
still
28
sucking.
years later, duh. Sorry. All right, so I guess it's on you, man.
My dislikes. Let's see. Where were we? Hold on. I got to pull the list back up. Make sure that I'm going back into this because there was something specific that we. Oh, there we go. Never mind. So I kind of covered part of it with David going in on Superman. Um, all of like a lot of Marvel MCU's change ups, right? I thought the Thunderbolts movie is fun, in parts, right?
Okay.
Um, but at the same time, I we're all, I think, leaning on that the Marvel MCU and the direction they're going in and the switch ups, man. I think it has caused a real problem. Um, I like Thunderbolts, and hey, for y'all listening at home when y'all listen to this podcast, shout out to the Archangel David and Cosplay Your Way crew, Bar and Sharita and Larry and Walter. Man, they killed it as Thunderbolts at Dragon Con, right? They look great, right? My squad showed up like they walked out the movie. But making them the focus, how things were handled with Falcon, Captain
Oh,
America.
yeah.
Oh, you mean
Which,
with making him off screen?
yeah, well, that right. Like there are just certain things like because they're switching directions too much, right? The original MCU came through with a plan, right? But it had a solid structure, and they made adjustments on the fly, but they weren't extreme adjustments, right? It didn't go linear. This one, it's hey, we were headed in this direction, and then we saw what happened with Ant-Man and Kang, right? Kang should have been up next, but I didn't, right? That was the start for me. I didn't like how things were done in that Ant-Man movie, outside of a few things. And it almost feels like it keeps getting like
Well, and then
there's no
how
cohesive,
what
right?
happened with Captain Marvel too? The
Which I
Marvels,
didn't
there's that.
mind. Right, I didn't mind the movie so much. It just felt like there's something cohesive that is missing, right? And that almost connection that you had in the original MCU. And I get it. I am all for it. Let's get away from the big core of Captain America, Iron Man, right? There are other people. Let's put them forward. Absolutely. How you deliver that. And I think part of it is delivery, and part of it is something going on with any kind of cohesiveness in that universe. Oh, we're going to get Blade. We're going to get this. We introduced the Turtles. We're going to go to, and all of that shit's gone. All of it, right? We're no longer really getting Blade. What? Oh, we're switching direction again. You can't keep switching direction like that, right?
Mhm.
What that causes everything to just go sideways. And they're going to end up kind of like with your complaints with Marvel Comics. They're going to end up losing, what they've built by
I think
not.
they've already lost it.
Oh yeah.
They're
I think it can be
In game.
right. I think it can be. And look, when you set the bar that high, though, and I will tell you, there were some misses in the original MCU.
it was.
Right?
There's a lot of misses actually, and
Yeah.
a lot of mediocre, kind of good, okay movies. And then
Right.
they hit some things out of the park, and they got to a sweet spot, and it all congealed together for some pretty
Yeah,
good
right. But they made it cohesive. You still felt there was a connection with all of these things.
Yes.
This doesn't feel like it feels rudderless.
Yes. But it's felt like that since Endgame. Let's be real. We've been talking about that even before we went on hiatus. We was talking about it feels like phase 4 have no direction. Now phase 5
Right.
no direction. What's
And
going
I think
The
it sucks
problem,
because there's some really good characters there, and there's some really good solid building blocks that I'm like, hey man, can y'all call the Russo brothers and have them fix this?
But I think a major part too is they don't have the oversight, that they used to have.
You mean Ike?
I mean, not just him. There was a whole committee that was there. You
yeah,
know,
most of those people have moved on, the other
Yeah,
executive
look,
producers.
somebody give John Favreau more money, bring him in back.
Well, he's been doing Star Wars, so he's doing that. I think the problem is that they're left with a bunch, mostly characters that people don't know and don't care about. That's just what it is.
you got that. That's part
Oh
of it.
no, but
I
you
mean,
got that with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it went over great.
that's true.
It's how you
That's
put that on the plate.
that's
If
true.
I serve it to you, I can serve you
That's
a steak on a trash can. You gonna eat it? No. If I put it on the plate though, same steak, you'll eat it and you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
right.
I
But in
think
some ways, that was fresh and that was new and that was interesting. And they were only able to get that done because they had a track record of success so that people trusted them and went to go see the film.
yeah,
That's the reason why that worked.
yeah.
Had they put that out as their second film,
I agree with you. I don't think it would have worked if they had put out the second film. You got to have the right timing for stuff. That's true.
Correct.
But you also got to have the storytelling when you get it out there and the people trusting you. I think part of the reason that people don't care anymore is because they've gone to see films that were trash.
mhm,
Back to back to back, but not just films. They have a plethora of TV shows too now. So you
oh,
all of this stuff backing up, what should have been a good cohesion of storytelling that just isn't. You
Yeah,
know,
it's not there.
garbage shows. I mean, come on, man. I'm watching Kate Bishop take over the Hawkeye show and beat up the Kingpin. Really, really? Come on, Kate Bishop. Do we
Hold on. Kingpin had went through some things at that point. He wasn't back yet
look?
completely.
Man, Kingpin should have been tossing her around like a rag doll.
well,
Okay,
but we did
Remember,
finally get Kingpin back in the
but
and
we
we
Daredevil
sure
series.
did.
did it to him again by Echo. So we had to live with just BS before you finally got that Daredevil show to come out. And by the time Daredevil came out, man, a lot of people had already written it off. They've written off the ancillary content, the MCU.
Yeah, I think this next round of Netflix though yeah, I'm sorry, Daredevil and Punisher will be because they've taken the usual Disney constraints off.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Think about it. Right. For Daredevil and Punisher, and really to build a Marvel Knights universe, which is what I think is going to end up happening, you have to have that level of gritty violence. And they
Yeah.
were able to do some of that with like parts of Black Panther and the Captain America movies.
Mhm.
Right. Now they're like, look, we can't really tell the story that really needs to get told this way unless we take those shackles off and
Yeah.
go, you got, and I think Deadpool helped that, right? Deadpool, even though that Deadpool helped,
Yeah.
we make a hard R and people gobbled it up. You can now have Daredevil back. You
Yeah.
can now do Punisher. Why? Keep it over here. People are going to buy into it, but you got to be able to tell the story with that level of grit.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you remember, Netflix stuff was coming out when the good MCU stuff was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have already known that works, and that's what the people like. It was happening at the same time that their greatest success ever was happening.
Well, that's why they that's why they led off into making shows themselves. That's why we ended up getting a slew of TV shows, and the quality just wasn't there. It just
but the quality wasn't there when they started making the shows.
That's my point.
So they
saw the benefit of having the movie and the Netflix shows coming out at the same time. They saw the correlation. In fact, we were screaming, "Why don't they touch? Why aren't they connected? Everything in the movies are connected."
But that's just it. We did not know they weren't connected. Because when you watch those shows, they were talking about stuff that happened in the movies.
They were.
Yes. But that's called your writing team. There was a direction. Rudderless.
Right. Exactly. There was a direction during that time. And
seriously.
Look even the old show that they claimed, which was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they stopped claiming it. Even though it went out of the movie.
Yeah.
And I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I hated how they transitioned out and took that completely away from the rest of the universe. And I think they dropped the ball in several parts with that. Because you see what old girl came back in Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah.
That's still a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's still out there.
For Man's Report. We have no idea.
Right. Coulson. All of the things that they did with the Shi'ar and Kree in that.
Yeah. It's just a lot of stuff. They didn't need to can those things and then all of a sudden say they're not part of the MCU because it was already working and we already believed it. We spent years watching it. So all you did was confuse your fans. You know what I'm saying? We can't sit here and assume that all fans can track and switch up.
Grasp. Yeah,
they can't. My wife is the person that loves the stuff, but cannot, right? She's asking questions that flat out. I'm like, oh, didn't you see? And I'm like, wait, your brain doesn't work like mine. I know why, blah, blah, blah. But like Colby Smulders coming back in Secret Invasion, right?
Yeah.
And those little things.
Secret Invasion sucked.
Right, it didn't have to. Look, right, it didn't have to. I enjoyed parts of it, but it didn't have to. Right? You could have made it make sense.
You could have made it make sense. You could have built it up more than you did.
Again, decisions that get made. Think about it. Falcon, the latest Captain America movie. The whole Serpent Society was supposed to be in that movie.
First off, that movie was a Hulk movie. That was a Hulk movie.
Huh?
Yeah, it was an Incredible Hulk movie.
That was an Incredible Hulk movie.
That was Hulk's storyline, but they didn't put Hulk in it.
Well, no, they legitimately carry a, Red Hulk that is Ross.
Yeah, but that's
that tracks.
Problem.
But I get what you're saying because the leader was behind everything from the old Hulk movie.
Red Hulk being introduced, Incredible Hulk, You have the leader being the antagonist and coming back from all the stuff and like all those plot lines outside of the Celestial came from Incredible Hulk's first movie.
Yep.
But don't put the Incredible Hulk in the movie at all. You even talk about him and he never shows up. Banner never shows up. You even put Betty in the movie at the end of the movie and we still don't have Banner show up. But
That's the point. It's an Incredible Hulk movie.
He's gonna be in Spider-Man. So we finally finna see this dude again. We don't know.
I told you they are making major mistakes, right? And it's because of the direction. There needs to be a, hey, we need to have a summit, sit down. These are the ideas we're going with, hella high water. We'll replace actors as needed, but we got to get away from this, this person here. Now this is going to be this. Now this is going to be
I'm going to say
now
something unpopular. Feige's got to go.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
He's got to go. It's time to flush the toilet and get a fresh perspective.
Emperor Lee has spoken. Hit him with
that. Hey,
we
agree. We all agree, right? What you did originally was great, right?
But
time's up. Transition. Hand it to someone else to give someone else an opportunity to now redirect the ship.
Yeah, because what you
100%.
see is what he does when he's left to his own devices. Before, there was multiple people over him that had a little bit of control to try and guide what was happening and help.
Committee you talked about earlier.
Important. And without it, look at what happened. He just drowned you.
Yeah, I think we agree in that. So, man, what's your second?
Look, I'm good. I'm good. I think, let me just make sure because the thing keeps moving. I'm not in my normal setup, and no, I'm not going to be in my normal setup for a very, very long time. A lot of these will end up being recorded in hotel rooms from around the country.
We ain't got a problem with that. Remember,
look, that's how this is going to go down for the rest of the year. And we're going to change my name to Ambassador Madman. All right, it's just gonna have to look. I'm right next door to ambassador status, and that's gonna be that's gonna be rough. That's not good. But let's see. It was the Mr. Terrific thing that his dialogue. Dislike. Oh no, Lee, go ahead and pop in while I find this. And do yours.
Okay, so my thing was again just the Marvel Comics thing. Like I've tried to pick up a few, and I'm like I just can't do it. It's just this attitude of throwing again. I know we've talked about this before, so this is kind of beating a dead horse, but just throwing things against the wall just to see what sticks.
Hey man, my hat's off to you for even trying. I'm done with it. I catch a movie here and there if it interests me, and I keep moving.
Listen, there's a Marvel comic I'm reading, and that's Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm not even reading that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a cosmic storyline that's going on that's pretty cool, and Imperial is cool.
I have them sitting over there because I copped them this Wednesday for the first time.
Yeah, Imperial's pretty cool, but
going to a comic shop.
Yeah, and some of the Miles Morales stuff is good. I mean, I did read a couple of the Captain American Falcon issues, but it's kind of like, But I will say the one bright spot for me with them is the comic, the priest thing where there's the white Black Panther. I actually read that issue and it's kind of interesting. It's actually interesting. I mean, I was offended, but I read it. I'm like, okay, let's just see what happens next with this. Like this is kind of interesting.
I'm gonna let you take that road and educate us as it unfolds because I saw that shit. I'm like everybody else on the internet. We're like, what?
Yeah, I saw it too. I'm like, let me just see it.
Like, just trying to be look. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
Because I think it's very tone deaf, but it definitely is interesting. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that, there's been I saw a lot of things on different forums where people were bashing Dragon Con, like saying that, Dragon Con's lines are too long. And I don't see what the hype is, and just complaining just about a lot of things. And just to me, like the lines, I mean, the lines to get in panels and things like that, they're obviously going to be long. You got to think about it. 75,000 people this year. And chances are some of those people are going to want to do the same things that you're going to want to
which
do.
has been
Yeah.
less than it's ever been other
And
than
it's
during
less,
COVID
Yeah.
years, right?
100%.
We were at 80 something thousand people, right? And after COVID, they made that decision, right? So for
To
those playing
start
at
capping
home,
badges.
I
Yeah.
spent a couple of years as an assistant director for one of the programming tracks. So I get to see certain things behind the scenes. They they realized even from a volunteer and help standpoint and managing things, all right, this is makes it super crowded and it makes it almost unmanageable. It would be
Yeah.
better if we could limit it. So for the first time, think about it. Next year's their 40th anniversary. For the first time ever, the past couple of years, they capped attendance to where people those lines were less than they've ever been.
Ever been.
You
Yeah. And it
just
felt
you don't
comfortable.
like you don't like standing in lines. Go to Comic-Con then. See what happens
That's
when
what
you
I
try
was
to
going
get
to
to Hall
say.
H, camping out
you
the night
you
before.
you right, you have to have like perspective on that, like being someone who has been in a hall H line. Waiting 2 hours in a Dragon Con line is nothing. That's nothing, mere mortal.
See, you got a
Because
lot
I
of young and up and comers, getting into the convention space now for Dragon Con who have only been to like a MomoCon or AWA, or Shun Con. They're not used to this kind of volume.
Well, but some of these people were complaining, they said I've been to like MegaCon and some of
Yeah.
these other ones. They weren't even necessarily Atlanta locals.
and that's what I tell people. This is
MegaCon is no
not like any other convention. We are not in a convention hall. 98% of your events occur on site. We don't shut down at night,
mm-hmm.
right? It is literally all of the hotels and the apparel mart for vendors and shopping separately.
Yeah.
You don't get to go
Oh,
home.
they moved everything to the Paramount for shopping.
Yeah.
Yep.
The last time, other than the one I met you guys at the podcast, the last Dragon Con I went to, all the shopping was in the bottom of the Marriott.
Yep.
Bottom of the Marriott and the bottom of
It got away from that, thank God.
It has grown.
Wow.
It grew, right? And so
It was
with
crazy.
that, right? Yeah. But this is not like any other convention, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard the same complaints you did, Lee, with certain things and what have you. And I think it's people don't know what to expect, right? They're coming in thinking this is going to be like Georgia World Congress Center. Don't get me wrong, they do late events. Dragon Con's going on all night. If you want to get up at 3 a.m. and go to a rave, which I've done at 4 a.m., but on a shark suit, walked over into the Marriott, full-blown Star Wars rave going on at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? Packed with people. That's what happens, right? So it's, hey, oh, well, I'm trying to get into this, so I'm trying to get, look, centers. People were lined up down the, they did not have enough room. Why? From year to year, they don't know the turnout. So when you complain about, oh, I didn't see this or that, it's like, well, you got to learn. You have to plan. But there's a big caveat, and it came up in the one of the Facebook groups and on Threads, and that was this. Oh, I didn't think there was a lot of black people at Dragon Con. Do they have them? I'm like, yo, they said, especially for Atlanta. I was like, so obviously you didn't go through the programming and look, right? And I sent back the picture from the hey buddy, the photo shoot. We're gonna get a podcast guest right now because somebody is supposed to not be in here. But
Oh, hey, Jax.
Jackson, say hi.
Welcome, youngling.
So yeah, so with that being said, and I'm like, no, and I sent them, I was like, baby girl, there's a black photo shoot every year. That this year was the 10th anniversary. Here's the photo. Right? I said, we have programming done here, here, and here. Here's cosplay your way. Here's these people. Here's these people. I was like, there are plenty of things for you to do and people to meet with.
What was the response?
Didn't get one. Didn't get one.
No, because you took the
Yeah.
narrative.
They were
But
fat hate, bro. That right there, come on, that's a ridiculous statement. One, you're in Atlanta. Atlanta is Black Mecca. Please stop. We're gonna show to the party.
It
yeah,
was
well,
probably somebody who wasn't even really there.
Yeah,
well, yes, because I've had people make those comments as well, right? And they go, "Oh, well, I've never been, but well, you've never been, then shut up because you have no idea about this experience, right?" With it being the 40th anniversary, I remember. I think my first Dragon Con, I was 17, right?
Yeah,
And then
that was my first Dragon Con.
yeah.
I started going more in my 20s. Took some breaks here and there, but like literally, I'm thinking, man, I got a good, you know, 30 with Dragon Con, right? In my life. And I'm like, there's stuff to do. Now, what I will say it to that, when people go, oh, there's not Black people, listen, you have no idea the dark ages of Dragon Con, where there truly weren't a lot of Black people. And I'm grateful because that is exactly how I know everyone on this podcast, right? Me actively seeking out and engaging my own people in that convention space. Where you got to sit down, little buddy, stop it. We're talking right now. You got to be quiet. Actively engaging my people in my convention space where I saw, like, I have old pictures of David and Sharita and Bar and everybody in costume, well before I knew them. Why? They were the faces that I saw when I went around consistently. Sherman stopped me, Sunday night, and it was like, dude, I know you said you weren't coming this year, and I'm glad you showed up. He was like, bro, you've been doing this and helping with this con, and we need you as a Black person to continue to show up. Why? Because me seeing other Black people kept me showing up and hanging with those people and introducing that to other people, going, oh no, we're here. There's a space for you. Show up and show out, right? And you never know who's watching because I got to watch them in cosplay for years before I even ever met them. I actually met Bar and Larry and everybody at a different convention because we recognized each other from years of seeing each other at con.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, nah, you look, the people are there. So when people complain about certain crap at Dragon Con, with that and everything else, I'm like, yes, there's problems. It's a fan run convention with volunteers. They cannot control everything.
Let me ask. So, what was the hate, Lee? What was the initial?
It was just that it's not that great. It doesn't live up to the hype. The lines are too long. I can't get it. Basically, I can't get a chance to do what it is I want to do. Panel lines too long. Apparel mart lines too long. The merchandise wasn't what I expected it to be. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, let's be real. If you go do anything in this city, anything, I don't care what it is. If you go into a concert, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have a line if there's going to be thousands of people in attendance. It's
Bro,
just be a thing. That's
if you're in Atlanta, it's 5 a.m. to 8 o'clock at night with maybe a small break. You're going to be in a line. It's called traffic.
Like, it's just truth. You have to that and plan your day accordingly. If you don't procrastinate, man, you can get into things. You know, it just is what it is. Those type of complaints for me, they can kick rocks. I laugh at you because
I
you
agree.
adult yet and don't understand how to plan your life accordingly. They probably the type of person that show up to something at the last minute and think they're gonna get in. Yeah.
Well, here's what I tell people. Hey, it's not for everybody. If you don't like crowds, you really are not going to like Dragon Con. If you have like severe anxiety like that, you're not going to like Dragon Con. I remember when my daughter,
and I love Dragon Con.
Right. Her friend Sophie, who they're the same age, they came with us to Dragon Con. And Sophie, had ordered her costume from Japan and was bouncing around and my daughter was like, oh no, this is way too overwhelming. right? You know how you see people shut down? She's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and this was back during the 85,000 numbers, right? So it's super crowded.
Back back when Dragon Con, people were causing traffic jams in the middle of Atlanta.
Yes. Nerd. Oh,
Hmm.
nerd. Look, nerd freak Nick.
The entirety of downtown Atlanta had
Yep.
from stormtroopers to and the gay pride parade.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
they call it the parade, more like the gay pride event happens right next to it. So they had one side of Atlanta.
Well,
Car
you throw in
had
the
one
book
side.
festival, you throw in the NASCAR race, you
Right.
Yeah.
know, and
Right.
then there
The
were the
Football
Brave,
party.
the
football
Brave
people,
Stadium was downtown as well because every year
but you
during
had
that
like
time,
five main events going on.
Chick-fil-A,
Mhm.
People
Chick-fil-A
everywhere.
college football kickoff. So there were always four teams and their fans. The Braves
People
still were
everywhere.
downtown.
Atlanta is that type of place. All of August, all of September, there's always something going on, and people are everywhere. And like you said
Hmm.
earlier, traffic jam starts at 5 in the morning, ends at 8 at night, and it don't
Mhm.
end. It just lessens from Monday to Saturday.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
much like myself, Atlanta is always working on themselves in terms of their roads.
This is true. Well, we're at time, guys. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
got two likes, two
welcome
hates out
back.
each. Yeah,
What's
Welcome
we
your
are
back.
last
back,
hate,
baby.
Law? We never got your last hate.
Oh, I said people talking about Dragon Con and I don't like Marvel Comics. Those are the two. Yeah, so we got everybody. So hopefully, the next time we do this, it will not be, years removed from this particular podcast. But we thank you all, for listening. Those of you who were asking when we were going to do it, we are back. Thanks for all of our listeners internationally, the domestic listeners and all of our new people who might find us. So with that being said, Dr. Law,
Big Mo B.
The Archangel David.
Your boy, man.
and we're out. Stuff we
Awesome.
like, stuff we hate.